So here's my tutorial on how to do my version of brushes. For this video, we're going to do an inch tarantula style brush with tan and brown legs to get like a crustacean-y vibe. So first, for an inch width brush, I take about 4 clumps of, I don't know, maybe 60 fibers each clump. I'll take about 4 of these. Usually I just kind of sight it. The thicker it is, the less you'll need. The thinner it is, the more you'll need to get the nice, accurate brush. So I just go all the way through, cut 4 clumps, and then just depending on what width you want, you might need more or less. Like if I do 3/4 inch brush, I only need about 3 of these clumps. To do 1/2 inch woolly critter style brush, I only need about 2, maybe 2.5. So once I get them all cut, I lay them out. I bring them all the way up to the 1 inch mark. And what I do is I take a ruler, just lay it down, and then I take this roto cutter, wheel cutter thing, and just take that. That's all tag and trash. Then you gently pick it up, move it down 1 inch, cut that inch. And then you have a perfect inch cut. And then I'll just go all the way down, and then we'll work on placing it on the wire. And then what happens sometimes is on the back last cut, some of them might be a little longer than the rest. Like this one here is only about 3/4 of an inch. So you can either save it for another brush or toss it, really. So now we're gonna go over to work on laying it out on the wire. So this is my layout of how I spin brushes. It's very simple. The goal when I started was to get as simple as possible. Of course, maybe upgrade in the future, but as right now, this is what works. So I got my desk here, which is about, I don't know, 20 inches, 22 inches wide. I put some binder clips on this end. And what I do is I take a binder clip, pop this piece off, and what I use for my wire is I use 0.006 stainless steel wire. I put it on a bobbin here to help keep it together, and to keep some resistance on the wire so that it doesn't flop around and move as I'm working on it. I take a pair of forceps here, pinch it on. I pull about 2 feet out, take it, fold it in half. Got my bobbin, my forceps over here, got my wire. And what I do is I take the clip I just took off, put it on, wrap it a few times, and then spin it. I don't know, maybe 10 times. Then you throw that back on the clip there, lay it down, and then we're gonna work on laying the materials. And when I take this, to get it out of the way, I have a pegboard up there, and I just hang the bobbin on a peg to keep it out of the way. And then, so what I do now is I'll take this hairline wax, and I'll just lay a coat down across the wire, on the bottom wire here, just to give it a little extra stick, so when laying the material down, it doesn't move or anything like that. And what you do is you take, one by one, you take each clump of your 1 inch fiber that you just cut, and you go all the way down the wire here. And what I do is, because I make my brushes about 12 inches long, I'll lay a ruler down just to keep a guide so I know how far I am, so I don't go too far or too little, depending on. And I just keep going all the way down. And don't necessarily worry about the if you have any straggly fibers or stuff that's out of line. There is a way we can cut that so that it's a nice clean brush, or you can leave it like that if you wanted a little extra variance, if you didn't want it perfect. Usually what I'll do is I cut it. And you keep going. Just what I do is I take a clump, lay it down, kind of push it down so it spreads out and it's not, you know, kind of evenly disperses it. And that wax helps keep it sticking there, so if you catch a gust of wind or breathing, it doesn't necessarily knock it out of line. So there we are. So that's about 12 inches. And what you can do is you can take your cutter again, take it out, and then just easily go down the line, make sure it's nice and flush, cutting all those little extra hairs or fibers out of the way. All right, now, so for me, what I've found is the best choice with doing my legs. I use a Senyo's Shaggy Dub. This one is the medium brown. They got about, I think, 12 to 13 different colors. I've also found is you can dye them. You can use that Ritz dye and make other colors if you'd like. So for this, what I do is I just take a pinch of the material, just grab a couple fibers at a time, and you just go all the way down. At this point, you can determine if you want extra legs, less legs. Really, it's up to you. If you want less than EP or less than other brush manufacturers, you can. All the way around, you can do more legs if you want that crazier look. But for me, and then the one thing I noticed with the Shaggy Dub here is sometimes, like right here, you'll get, I don't know if you can see it, but that's a 6-inch leg right there. I usually throw those aside. You can cut those shorter later on. But you do get to find a lot of mix and match sizes, unfortunately. But yeah, I just go all the way down. Oh, got another. All right, and now I kind of just go back through. I just look. If I'm too light in some areas, too thick in some areas, I can just move it around a little bit so that it's a more even look. All right, so then you just take all that, save that for later. All right, now, so at this point, you can add some more wax once you take the last part of the wire down. You could add some more wax to it. For me, I found that I don't normally need it as long as you keep good tension on the wire. So once you have it laid out, you got your 12 inches here. I just go through, double check that all the brush is even, because sometimes when you lay it, the brush will be either too much on one side. So, I mean, it's not the worst deal in the world, but once it's nice and even, my spin method of choice is I take this drill, this nice Ryobi drill. I took the other half of that clip, put it in the drill, like that. And then now, what you do So move the camera just a little bit forward. Okay. As you take the drill, you got the clip here. Grab the wire, get it in there, keep it nice and tight. Spin a little bit just to get it started. Lay these up. What I do is I just take some wire cutters, cut those off, and keep it nice and keep the tension on it. Pick it up. Pick it up, and then start to spin. Nice and slow. Don't pull too hard, or the wire will pop, and that's no good because it's not spun enough, so it's just trash. So I don't know. I usually let it spin for about 10 seconds or so, and then you take one of these nice dog brushes, or you can use the finger comb here and just brush it out. Once you're all the way through, I would let it spin for another 5 seconds or so, just to make sure it's nice and wound up so it doesn't lose grip on the material. Do one more brush through, and then just take it. You're gonna cut this wire off, and you're gonna cut the other side, and there it is. That is a tan with brown legs. Good for any shrimp fly or any other fly of your choice. All right, guys. I hope you like it. Let me know. I appreciate it.